Good morning everybody and welcome to House and Garden Flipper. Today we're heading into episode 141. I'm not sure if we'll finish the garden today, but we're going to give it our best shot. The little tip down the bottom says, in American gardens, trees and shrubs with lush greenery are planted on the outskirts of the property. Ooh, I'll have to remember that. Okay, this is the office garden and the office. We are heading in to the house, the Unsatisfying Effect house. Alright, our prepper down the bottom wants more water. Excuse me. He has a family of, I think it's about 3 or 4 to cater to, so who can blame him? Water would be important. I always feel like I've stepped into a jungle. Alrighty, this way. So if I remember rightly, we had to put in some low-level flowers and add some low-level colour in here. We needed to furnish the greenhouse or the gazebo. Sorry, not the greenhouse. We needed to put some ponds and water features in here, and I vaguely remember saying something about a barbecue area, which probably will end up. I'm going to make it, I think I might actually put it in here. And over here we need to probably put in some benches and add a little bit of a foliage and stuff and garden. And I think that's probably all I'm looking at doing. There's our house, our little nook out here for reading and whatnot. Our fountain. Yep, I also need to put in garden beds along this side as well, so we're going to use a mix of white and pink. And we're going to put that pink foliage in, flowery bits in along there. I would say we're pretty much coming up on the end of it. If we don't reach it today, we'll come really close. Right, so I guess the only question is where we're actually going to start. I mean, theoretically, this garden will make it through the garden contest not too badly as it stands. Let's go with the pinkness and get that out of the way. Oh, I forgot we've got tulips. Ooh. Yeah, I like that. It's a subtle. I don't have to go with gouge your eyes out pink. I can just go with, that was pretty. I'm going to remember that for my next yellow gardeny bit. Alright, let's have a look. Okay, maybe not in the garden bed itself. Right, so they probably... No, let's leave those. They're not going to match our garden. Oh, I'm disappointed. That's okay. Tulips, daffodils, jonquils. Maybe not Canary Island date palms. Let's go into flowers. Crocus. Oh, they're tiny. Look at that. Alright, I'm going to use those, but not straight up. First up, I want something a little taller. Not oleander. Oleanders are poisonous and really not good. Ah, roses. We forgot. We need to have roses in an English garden. The book says so. Wow, that's kind of pretty. I wonder where I can put that. Okay. So apparently we're going to have roses along the fence line. If I can fit them in. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fit that many in. Oh, nice. The collision spaces have been fixed a little bit. I know, I don't know if we're going to have that many in, she says, and then drowns the entire garden in roses. Not sure. Anyway, let's okay, so you just got to work it. I love how they fixed that, that's good. So the darker pink kind of offsets. It does make my garden a bit pinker than I was planning, but okay. Let's see what we can do. Oops, ow. Barked my knees on the lights. Those lights are going to have to go. They're driving me crazy. So one of the things they say about English gardens, this will deter the children from running along the fence line. One of the things they say about English gardens is that you need massed flower plantings, and I forgot entirely about the roses. You probably wouldn't do this to a real rose now that I think about it, because they tend to like a little bit more sunshine. Alrighty, yep. So apparently we're going to have leave a space, put that there. We're going to have a taller rose in the background there. Alright, see, this is a no-go zone, kids. Maybe we won't put that there. So what we're doing is we're using the roses in the front to link to a theme of them down the back. And we'll just see how it works. Sure. Let's just zish this way. That's right, we have to put some in here just to link it up. So now we're getting a little bit more of our massed planting thing happening. English gardens can be a little bit more random than others, but some of them can also be a lot more formal, so I guess it all depends on the effect you're looking for. I always think of the artist when I do these, because she's got a thing for chaos, and there's a certain element of chaos in these gardens. Let's just pop that over there. I'm going to put crocuses and bits and bobs around the water feature. Nope, that's not going to work. Maybe not right there. Okay, no, we're not putting roses there. And roses would be a bad idea in this narrow walk space. Unless they have no thorns. Pretty sure these ones do though. Well, they do in my imagination. There we go. Alright, so now we have an extra layer of pink. So we have rhododendrons, lilac and roses. Like I said, you probably wouldn't put the roses in underneath the this much overhanging foliage unless they were meant for shade. Alrighty, multiflora roses. We have now fulfilled our rose criteria. Cinquefoil. It says shrubby cinquefoil, but this thing is huge. Look at the size of this. That's what we've got along our walls. Daylilies. We can get pink in daylilies. Let's see what size they are. It's a little bit too red. Let's go with maybe that. And it's also not quite the height differentiation that I want, so... It is pretty and it provides contrast. We're not going to do that though. We might put those around the pond. Let me just check something. Okay. Alrighty, back to it. So, I think we've pretty much done the front row now. Let's have a quick look. I'm after something low and something pink. So low and pink. Hydrangeas are too big. Ah, here we go. Not the dwarf rhodies, the Tigrus erectus. I think those were just red last time I looked. Yeah, they're still just red. Chrysanthemums. Okay, we have red and we have pink. Let's have a look at these. Okay, they're the right height. Let's just check out our anemones. No, they're a little bit tall and they're too similar to the other ones we've got. So I'm thinking for contrast we might actually go with the no, okay, there's no pink in that, so we're safe. What is that? Dahlias. Okay. Alright, where were my chrysanthemums? We'll go with these guys and we'll go with them in the pink. So let's just drop these in here. Probably in clusters. Maybe. Alright. So this is going with our massed kind of plantings. Just very quickly chop that through. I really like doing these. You just get to play with so much colour. It's like, yeah. Man, I hope they like pink. They're in trouble. I'm in trouble if they don't. They're in trouble. They're not in trouble. The only person in trouble is the Daffy builder. There we are. Alright, so I think we're going to use some of those little rhododendrons on the other side, in amongst the rose bushes. I could probably stick vines up the fence. Actually, my neighbour did that, and now I have encroaching vines. Maybe I shouldn't do that to the Smoth's neighbours. It depends if they're bad neighbours. I mean, you know, gloves are off. No, not really. Vines and nuts. Okay. Right. So I think after these are done, this might be where these gardens are finished. I'm sure I can actually get anything in that space. It looks like I should, but computer said no. Okay, fine. So just very quickly scooch this way. Maybe move it. No, it's the pavers. Oddly enough, the flowers don't like being planted on them. Alrighty, let's just get these in. Can I get any more in? Nope, no more for you. Alright. Okay, that's our pinks done. We need a low-level white for over here, or possibly something in between. Actually, you know what we will do? We'll go with the... Where are those crocuses run off to? And... I'm not sure what colour I want. I don't want a new colour, and I don't want to repeat the white. Let's have a look at the very light pink and just see if that... Yeah, what we're going to do is put little patches of them in here if you can. No, it's just going to... It's not going to let me cluster them, it's just going to let me... Oh no, there we go. Okay, so we could be here a little while. So many flowers. Alright, let's start from the very edge and maybe just be a little bit more orderly about this. Although why I'd want to do that, I don't know. So just drop down clusters of these things. I was going to do them in little patches, a bit like I do with the grasses, but I think in this case what we might do is just drop them in where we can get them and be happy. There we go. You know what? I don't like it. Oh boy. I know, I just put them all in. Ah! Alright, man, I gotta watch where I'm aiming this thing. Okay. Alright, so no to the crocuses. We're gonna leave the garden as it stands. I think that's too much otherwise. Let's not sell that. Oh, piffle. Right. Alright, well, when I put those back in, I can be grateful that I didn't put any more of these little things in before I worked out it didn't look any good. We'll replace the lavender bush that we just destroyed. Poor lavender bush. No, lilac bush, sorry, not lavender. There we go. We'll just put that back where it was. Maybe. If I get it to fit. Can I pivot it? Just trying to get the big branches from overhanging the gate. Yeah, now it's decided it doesn't want to go there. Oh, don't be like that. Cover it with soil. Alright, and actually I probably should have put the bark chips down before, so let's just go grab those while we do that. Alright, I think I should not play with that anymore. Where's my other big hole in the ground? There it is. Okay. Alright, so we have lots of flowers around here. We have lots of flowers around here. Oops, Mr. Crocus. Okay, I'm going to call that section of the yard done. And I'm just going to make sure I've matched up, I've remembered what flowers I put in here. So we'll just grab the plant section and go for those little white, it wasn't a multi-flora rose, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if it was a hydrangea, let's check that. No, it was not a hydrangea. Definitely not. Okay. It was either a dwarf rhododendron or a flowering. I think it might have been the dwarf. Yeah, okay, cool. Let's go get these guys in over here. So what I'm going to do is just put a couple in these spaces here, just to fill that grass section in. And I'm probably going to have to bark chip it as well, so... Actually, what am I thinking? Oh yeah, I'm thinking that the sank foil is not going to fit, that's what I'm thinking. Keep seeing a flash of green, I just want it, there it is. Alright, I don't think that's going to come in. Thought it would fit there. Alright, there we go. Okay, and I think I probably need something tall about there as well, so let's grab our, was it our flowery rhododendron in white? Yes, it was. Okay. Let's just see if I can pop that. So what I'm doing is holding the shift key down and just spinning the mouse wheel, and if I can fit this thing in anywhere it'll go green. somewhere on this bin. So it looks like I'm stuck with putting it about here, so we'll do that. Alright, now we're going to spread hopefully the last of the bark chips for this section. So let's just grab that and we'll just quickly kind of scoop that around there. I've got stuck on a flower, that wasn't my intention. There we go. There we go. Alrighty. Okay, I'm going to have to do that thing where I move the chair just to get the chips down, because I'm pretty sure I can put bark chips under the chair. I just can't. Sorry, I can put bark chips down, the chair on the bark chips, but not the bark chips under the chair. So let's get that done. Okay, now I'll grab that again. Oh, I'll be very upset if I can't put it on the bark chips. There we go. Alright, chairs in. I'm going to call that section pretty much done. And now I think it's back to the little white fluffy rhododendron things, the dwarfs. So we'll just grab that and we'll put a few of these in here. A few. So I probably should buy many. Okay, and we'll fill in our spaces here. Again, we're going to do the mass planting thing. Just a sea of, I would say colour, but I'm using an awful lot of white. There's a patch of green just there. Here we go. I was going to be a bit more adventurous with my plant selection, but I think one of the keys for the garden is sometimes you just need to be not too biodiverse. That'll do. Alright, so what I'm thinking is I wanted to put a bench down and I wanted to put a second pond in and I wanted to put something else in. Let's just check out the bark chips again. Okay. Basically, once the edge of the square goes over the pond, it won't let me spread the chips. There we go. Okay, looks like that's about as good as I'm going to get it. So what I'm thinking is I might put a, what do you call it? A bench in there somewhere. We'll stick a few plants around these trees. Probably somewhere in the realms of roses. We're going to stick a border of bark chips along here. If I wanted to do a straight line, I could do a straight line really easily, but what I'm trying to do is get some curved edges, which means I probably should be using the circle. Let's just get this bit done. Okay. Oops, getting a couple of glitchy bits here. Let's just grab that and run it through. And put a little bit of stuff here. You know what, I might just link up that patch there. Alrighty. I forgot to take some screenshots while the sun was shining. Let's just grab the, what do you call that? This tree here. Oops. There we go. Alright, so that bit there's done. Which means I have space for a pond and or a barbecue area, and I'm just trying to contemplate whether or not I want to put that down as stepping stones or whether or not. So yeah, alright, let's toddle this way. So we'll go in here, and I'm thinking we can put our barbecue area up here. Under, where is it? Grab that, grab its recreation and grills and fire pits. There you go. It's easier to find than I thought. Alright, I really like the Vangle. It just seems like the most practical grill out. So I'm going to stick that over here. I'm not too sure about using fire and timber, but never mind. Let's check what we're doing. We're getting tables, so for that we want furniture and we want tables. Not the Ella, it's the same shape but it's not the same thing. The Mac, I think that's the same kind of timber that we're using, and I don't think it matters. We won't use the light metal, maybe it does matter. And I'm just going to pivot that and put it here. And actually I might pivot it again, do another one, and we'll put that the same thing on the other side. Just there's not a lot of cooking space here. Let's just bring that out. Alright, so we have a barbecue area in our... I really don't think that's the traditional use for one of these, but if we don't tell anybody, I'm sure it'll be fine. Let's go with a some kind of round table. Maybe not one with an umbrella. Maybe not a picnic table. I'm actually thinking along the lines of the cast iron tables, but we'll see. Because I think everything else is pretty much too big. So we're going to make the legs and the tabletop. Maybe that, I don't know. Yeah, see, that's way too big. So what we want is I mean, these are smaller and they're little garden tables and they're kind of cute. Actually, if you do it this way, put two people over there, and you can put two people here. Maybe not quite there, just grab that and move it. Yep. And then what we'll do is we'll grab the Dali chairs. Okay, maybe we won't. They're kind of not as narrow as I want them to be. Alright, we might be stuck with them. That's fine. Let's grab this. Yeah, see, that's going to obstruct that door way too much, so I'll play with where I want the table. I may have to rearrange the cooking bits and bobs in a minute. So I'm thinking this is kind of a good place for the grown-ups to be. Alright, let's just grab this, and we might just wiggle it that way. I'm going to grab this one and wiggle it that way. Grab this one and maybe wiggle it over there. I'm not quite sure what that's going to do to the lighting. I don't think it's going to do anything good though. So what I'm thinking, okay, no one wants to sit with their back to the kids. That's just never a smart idea. Let's grab a couple of these chairs and just see what happens now. Alrighty. Oh, it looks like they're not going to have much choice but to sit with their back to the kids. That's fine. Some things a parent just doesn't want to see. Alright, that's our barbecue area, which means I get to play with ponds in this area here. So let's grab a couple of those and see how we go. It's not too bad, I guess. Just going to move that over there. There we go. Okay, I need... What was I doing? Ponds, right. So decorations, water tanks. I've already used a round shaped pond. What I wanted to play with was some of these kind of different shaped ponds. Let's see if we can get this one in. We'll make it brown. Ooh, turn it round. And it should fit really nicely about there. Let's just see how much of a mess we've made of it when the sun comes up. So you definitely want the parents to be able to see what's going on. Alright, sometimes if you're right on top of it, you've got to back up so you get the ability to make it do what it needs to do. Away we go. Alright. That'll do. And then what I'm thinking is we put another one in here. So either another one of these, which we could kind of put about actually, let's just put that I'm looking for something long and narrow to fit in the middle, and maybe we'll put a bridge over it. Alright, looks like I'm going to be stuck playing with this one. So what we'll do is we'll just toddle it back over here. I won't shift pivot it. Oh, actually, we might. So what I'm trying to do is just get it to connect, kind of. I don't know, maybe they can get the kids ducks. Ducks would be good. This may not work. I may get cross and just get rid of it all in a minute. Okay, so what I want to do... I have got no lights in this part of the garden, have I? Do have to fix that. I think we need a glade here. You know, maybe some tall plants here and coming around to about here, and definitely tall along the fence line there. Just like a little secluded glade, and this can be your endpoint, so we're going to need stepping stones for that. So let's grab our surfaces and our mixed, there we go, our mixed, not pebbles, that would be bad. Where are my stepping stones? There we go. In tune with the brown. I think what we might do, it's a nice narrow one, we'll put that right there while we've got it. Yeah, is we might just, that's what I was waiting on. Alright, then I need small. Okay, no, I don't need small. I need tiny. Maybe that. There we go. Alright. So we've got now is we've got a path leading into this area here. And this area here is going to be like a hidden nook. Okay, so let's finish off this part of the garden first. We're going to go with our pinks and our, maybe not, we're going to go... What I want to do is blend the water plants in. I'm not sure how this is going to work. I'm not sure even if it's going to work, but we can see. So what we want is our... Okay, irises are water plants. Oh, sorry, wet area plants. Some of these I don't know. Like that, what's that? That's snapdragons. No? Maybe. Okay, irises, ferns. And I was thinking daylilies. Let's have a look at the humongous daylilies to start with. We're doing white as our top color, or are we doing pink? Okay, it varies. Let's just alright. Just put a cluster of those there. I was talking about a bridge before. Let's see if we can manage that in this space here. It's probably under article. Architecture. Okay, that's Sapel. That's our red oak. I kind of like that. The teak matches the house better, so alright. That's way too big. Okay. Let's just go back to construction. So it was architecture, constructions. Alright, I don't think this garden is going to work for bridges because I've probably got it in the wrong spot. I could cut down that tree, but I don't want to. Ooh. Alright. This is not the space for it. That's okay. Let's go back to our daylily. What I'm just going to do is just conceal that join as best I can. Maybe put in a couple of a little stand of. This is not very English, I have to say. All right. All right, so we have our tall daylilies. Let's go with our short daylilies. Which are going to be pastel rose. I'm just going to see if I can get any along here. Okay. Sometimes you just got to reposition it so the pointer will sit where you need it to. And then you can see whether or not it's going to work. And we need something here. If I can get it in. No, that's not going to work. Okay, so we're going to need something tiny in that area. Okay, so that is this part of the garden, which means what I probably, yeah, I'm going to put my rhododendrons in, and I was thinking of putting some tall roses in between. What did I use? No, I used the white rhododendrons. We might continue that theme around on this side of things. So the flowery rhododendrons, which are lurking here, need to go in. There. Okay. Put a very large lilac in that spot. Okay, so much for being lazy. I actually do need to duck down onto here. If I can get it in the corner. Yeah, I can. Alrighty, put the plant in. That's done. And go with covering it with soil. Alright, water that planting. Okay, so you know what, I was going to put tall plants in here just to mask this whole area, but I think it's kind of crowded enough as it is, so we might, it's almost a little bit too crowded to be honest. Alright. I'm thinking we really don't need these. Just need to not pick the tree. So we'll take out this top layer of chips here. That's all good. And we'll take out the top layer here. So it's just where the circle intersects the trees, we're going to have a little bit of stuff left. Alright, I'm going to have to live with that. That's my bad. That's okay. So let's go with, just make sure I've pine barked around the edge. Surfaces, bark square. I'm pretty sure there's no circle in the bark. Let's just double check it. Under stone aggregate you'll find bark. Oh no, there we are. Excellent. What am I doing making myself suffer for no reason? Alrighty, so this will give me my nice little circular edges. I missed it when I looked for it before. Okay. It is pretty dark, mostly because I'm doing it at night, which is a bit of a pain. I do need to put some more lights in. Alright, so this area needs, let's just check our time. Alright, so we are running out of time. Rather than rush this last bit, what I'm going to do is just have a quick walk through and make sure I haven't missed the bits I think are finished. So from about this point on, these are all done as far as I can see. Maybe put some lights in, I think would be the only thing I'll change here. And down here again we've got our lights, we've got our flowers, and I'm going to call that finished. This section's definitely finished. I keep thinking I need something in here, but I don't think so. I think once you start with that, you're just looking at islands of flowers. We won't quite go that far. This section here is done. Alright, and this section's done. Okay, so the last thing I've got to do is I need to finish off this tiny back corner here. And possibly do something in here, and I'm thinking I'm going to leave that till next session so we don't need to rush it. So next session what we'll do is we'll finish this corner, we'll take the house to the garden contest and then to auction, and then we'll select our next project. So if you guys are interested in a particular house, let me know. I'm going to head back to the office and I'll just pull up the screen where the houses are, so you can see what we've got in. Oops, tab escape. Let's go back to the office. So basically that way you guys will be able to see what, actually let's, before we go anywhere, let's just grab a screenshot of that for the thumbnail. That should do us. And maybe that just in case. Alright, let's head back to the office. I'm going to have a look at the houses we've got. Okay, that will save our progress. English gardens are full of romantic corners with benches and fragrant roses. So that's the last thing I need to do for that house, is to actually put in some benches in that area in behind the ponds and some roses. So we'll do that. What I'm going to do next week, we've got 200,000 and we'll have a lot more than that. So we can either buy a new house or we can move straight onto the variable woman's house, or we can do a bunker. So if any of you guys watching have a preference with that, just drop it in the comments and I will just go with whatever most people would like for the next flip. We're at 200 grand. we will probably be able to afford, I'm not sure we'll get as high as the moon base, at least not to be able to buy it and renovate it, but I think if we can afford something, we can look at something like that. So we'll probably have about 400 by the end of the next one, which means I need to do at least one more flip before I go to the house on the moon. Okay, so if you like this episode, please hit that like button. If you want to see more, please hit subscribe, and drop your preferences in the comments, and we'll see what we can do. Take care out there and have a really good day.